Hello everyone, and welcome to the 6 o'clock news. I'm Scott Betts. Thank you for joining us this evening. Our top story tonight in local news. The United Way of Cambridge in North Dumfries and the United Way of Kitchener-Waterloo area will put together on April 24th for an annual general meeting. The meeting is for looking individually and looking forward together. Although there is one meeting, that doesn't mean one united way in the Waterloo region, said CEO Jan Varner. The meeting will be held at the Chicopee Ski Club at the Bear Cafe at 5 p.m. The Cambridge meeting will be held at 4:30 p.m. with a combined presentation afterwards. The goal? To reach $5.7 million, which was not met in last November. Now, in other news, over to sports with Tyler. Tyler?
Thank you, Scott. Now, on today's 6 o'clock news. Sports. In sports, there will be no suspension for Predators Scott Hartnell. Nashville Predators Scott Hartnell will not get an automatic one-game suspension for his misconduct during the playoffs. The New York Islanders coach Ted Nolan confirmed that Rich DiPietro would be in goal for the Islanders in Game 2 of the playoff series against the Buffalo Sabres this Saturday night. The New York Islanders also hope that Rich DiPietro will be in top condition for the second game because they may become dependent on the possible win. As shown during most of the playoffs, every game counts, which was never shown better this playoff season in the game which decided the Toronto Maple Leafs' playoff future. And finally, Detroit Red Wings' Todd Bertuzzi will not play Sunday against Calgary in Game 2 of the first round of playoffs. That was all the news for today in sports. And back to you, Scott.
Thank you, Tyler. Now, next in national news. In Kandahar, Corporal Sean Fevins survived a deadly blast that killed 6 of his fellow soldiers. He was the only combat trooper inside the stricken LAV-3 that was hit with an improvised explosive device, or an IED. He was able to survive the attack by telling his fellow comrades and soldiers what to do with his wounds. Following the aftermath of the incident, Corporal Fevins was very lucid about what happened. Now, Vimy Ridge. Vimy Ridge was a memorial dedicated to the Canadian soldiers who took Vimy in France when no other army could in World War I. The memorial was recently redone, and of 90th anniversary, soldiers and citizens and world leaders all came to pay their respects. They paid their respects to soldiers that fought, lived, and died on that battlefield. It was an emotional day for everyone involved who fought in the war and whose relatives and friends fought. Thank you for joining us here tonight at 6 p.m. I'm Scott Betts. Good night.